Hi everyone, Eileen back with you. Oh, it's Sunday and the sun is shining, and I've got another card video tutorial for you. From Lavinia Stamps, of course, and this is it. Lavinia have some fabulous words and verses and poems, and I don't think I use them enough. And when times are rough, sometimes we need to reach out and send a card or two to our friends, maybe to lift their spirits. And I think this one really shows that you care about somebody. The clouds are lined with silver, as often we are told. I give you this, my heartfelt wish, that yours be lined with gold. I just love that. So I'm going to make it into a card or show you how I did it. Let's get going. A piece of multifarious cardstock, and I've creased it and I've cut it to 18 centimetres in length by 10 centimetres width, and I'm using it in my normal tenfold way. I have a piece of copy paper and I'm resting on top of my large stamping mat. Okay, and away we go. Taking a piece of Sweet Puppy Stencil stencil tape, I'm just going to pop that along the top of the card. And another piece, I'm just checking that you're seeing this okay. I'll move it down a little bit, that's better. And another piece along the bottom, again to protect the cardstock and to give me a nice edge. So this is great tape and it will not rip your cardstock. Well, I haven't found it has in any that I've used it on. Right, next it's some inks, and I'm going for the pale look today. I want a gentle look. Squeeze lemonade, Victorian velvet, tumbled glass, and as they're sort of primary colours, aren't they? So they'll mix together and they'll blend a little as well. Brushes. There's a purple one here also because later I'll be using dusty Concord. So starting off with Sweet Puppy Stencils spreader. I use this a lot for abstract backgrounds. When I want something really fast, I'm just giving it a wash because I've got it covered in distress inks. When I want something really quick to do, then I'll get this out. You can use a piece of heavy cardstock, there's no problem, or a credit card even. Just something to give you a line. Starting off with squeeze lemonade. Now be gentle with this. I'm going to kiss the cardstock. I'm not going to grind into it. So I'm holding the head of my makeup brush very gently. My wrist is very loose, and I'm just coming out so lightly that the head of the brush is just skimming across the surface of the card, very gently indeed. Same pressure all the way through, and then turning the spreader around. And then I'll give this as another one down here. Again, very lightly. Victorian velvet is next. Changing brushes. Take off some ink because I don't want any splodges on this. I want a nice, gentle, abstract type background. I love doing these type of backgrounds because if you make a mistake, you can sort of always, nearly always get out of it without having to bin the card. Straight line down there, and then another one coming off that. I'm not going right to the edges. I'm just going to keep this pattern in the middle. Now I'm changing to blue and tumbled glass and the blue brush. These ink pads that I'm using are not very wet. They are quite dry and ideal for this gentle background. If your ink pad is too wet, try using something else. I'm very helpful sometimes. Now I need a little bit more pink or Victorian velvet here, I think. Again, very gentle, very loose. Okay, I think that is about it. Yes, I'm not going to do any more. You really won't get the overall effect of this background until you take the tape off. And that's what I'm doing now. Take off the tape. And you've just got then a lovely panel in the middle of your card, ready to receive the words. So switching to Versifying Clair Nocturne. And the beautiful verse, and it's called Silver Lining. If you're looking for it on the website, it's called Silver Lining. Do we one of those at the moment? Although my crafting, I think, is my silver lining. And because it keeps my head in a really, really good place. Still waiting for my jab. Oh, it's a bit out of order. They must know I'm a crafter. Right, let's go. So inked up, very gentle tapping, down, in the middle, get it straight, use a stamp press if you feel that you need to. And then I'm standing up now, letting the ink soak in, down and up. And there we have it, it's gorgeous. Nice and crisp. I'm now going to add a tiny little hair called Pippin, and you'll find Pippin in the £1 section of Lavinia stamps. He's a firm favourite, I have to say, because not only is he a character that you want to feature on his own, he's great for a clear, putting into spaces to fill a gap. And he's hiding at the moment. The little devil's hopped off. Where are you, Pippin? Oh, there he is. Okay. Ooh, getting ink. Nearly got ink on my card then. Right. Gentle tapping. Versifying Clair Nocturne again. He looks about right to me. And I'm going to put Pippin over in the left hand, not quite to the bottom or to the side, and he's just gazing up at the verse above him and agreeing with every word. Down, rest. Gaze out of the window, see what the neighbours are up to. Nothing. Down, up, and there's Pippin. Now I'm going to give Pippin a good clean because I want to use him again in a minute, but without any ink on. So that's Pippin. Also the words, I'm giving those a good clean. Damp cloth, no baby wipes. Oh. There we go. So both stamps are clean and waiting for action, but before I let them loose, I'm using a stencil. Now this is Glory, and it is glorious. Beautiful. Just popping Glory over the top, making sure Pippin's dry, and he is. You might need to heat gun him. And then I'm taking the purple brush and Dusty Concord, and again it isn't a terribly wet pad, it's quite dry. And then I'm just very gently, again loose action, skimming across, trying to keep in the center panel. I don't want to come out. And that should give me just a slither of the stencil image, and that's what I'm looking for. I don't want it to overpower the words. They need to stand alone, and I think in this instance they do. Right, let's get going. I can hear movement upstairs, so it looks as if the dogs might be ready to go out. I don't want them barking or anything. So taking the stamps now that you've cleaned thoroughly and dried, and popping them over the top and using them as a mask. I can't be bothered with all this faffing around cutting out stuff. So they go down there. Like that. And good old Posca paint pen, white, bullet tipped. And here's Uni-Posca white. And it's bullet shaped, 0.7 millimeters tip, just in case you needed to know, but quite honestly, I use all of them. The brush tips don't work, but any bullet tip will do you. And my whacking stick, which is my perfect layers, and give it a good whacking now. Don't want to cover the words, but everywhere else it's a bit of a blizzard. Oh, not much around Pippin. There we go. Can't leave you out, my boy, can we? Lid on. There's one more thing that I have to do before I can call it a day. And then I'm going to, I've got some Sweet Poppy stencil stuff to work on today. Some new stencils. They're on the show. There's a rose and another large flower as well. They're really lovely. Okay, so black polychromos pencil along with a grey polychromos pencil. Swing it round. Just gently go underneath Pippin so that he's not floating about in midair. He's actually got something to stand on. Coming down, go out a bit. And then a little tiny bit of black underneath his paws to give a bit of a shadow there. Let's have a look at that. Does it need blending in? Maybe it does. So I have one of these Derwent blender pencils. So I'm just going to very gently blend in the dark polychromos with that grey. Bring it down. And there goes the dog. So I think that I've just about spot on with that. So where's my display board? Never show your work off on messy mats, okay? Just a tip. Never do that. You've taken time to do it. Feature it. Showcase it. Be proud. Lecture over. Right, let's put that down there. And there it is. Hope that you'll have a go at that. And thanks very much for watching. I'll be back next weekend, but I'm going to come back during the week as well with another film I've got in mind. More about that later. Enjoy your Sunday, everybody. Bye for now.